Rob Dibble Show. Ben Darnell, Dibs just ran away. He's got to go get his glasses. He's sick of this. Can't read the scoreboards on the stupid television. I do got some updates for you, though. We do have afternoon baseball going on. Boston Red Sox fans, we're coming down to the final outs here. Bottom of the 8th inning, Sox at home, down 4-2 against the Seattle Mariners. Can they do it? We just started one in Milwaukee. It's 1-1. First inning over. Milwaukee taking on, we're in San Francisco. Milwaukee taking on the Giants. 7th inning, Rockies losing, believe it or not, Rockies losing 4-6 in Kansas City. And we're in a rain delay in Minnesota right now. White Sox trying to get that 6th win. It's always the hardest one. 3-0 on top of the Twins. Got plenty of baseball to go tonight. Yankees will have the day off, so there won't be a Yankee.
Are they traveling?
They are in travel mode. The Mets also.
Oh, they're coming home. They got the Blue Jays tomorrow night.
And the Mets are on a 7-game winning streak, sweeping the Cardinals in 4 and just beat the Phillies in 3. Couple of walk-off winners there in Citi Field for the Mets over the Phillies.
And you got to be happy about the way they're playing because you didn't just bring in Juan Soto. You're trying to build a culture. And I think last year what they did, what they're trying to do right now, I mean, it's bringing Alonso back. I wasn't in favor of the 2-year deal. He should have got more. I think he deserved a lot more. He's playing his butt off, and he's showing people that he probably deserves a lot more. And Lindor, he's living up to his end of the contract and things like that. But, at the end of the day, you still have to execute and play these games. And I think that they're well coached. And when you have guys that you're allowing to actually coach, I think Steve Cohen is smart letting this guy coach. I don't think that the Yankees are smart having Aaron Boone build the lineup the way it's built, with a guy hitting under 200 leading off, with a guy hitting under 200 in the 3-hole, a guy hitting under 200 in the 5-hole. Eventually, that's going to get exposed, and you're gonna see Aaron Judge not hit for a while. You're going to see Goldschmidt possibly not hit for a while. These guys are hitting bad pitching right now. But some of these pitchers, as they get healthier, and we're in May and June, and it starts to warm up, and all of a sudden the pitchers start to not pitch to Aaron Judge because they'll pitch to these other guys, not pitch to Goldschmidt because they'll pitch to Jazz Chisholm and Volpe, who are struggling right now. You've got to play baseball, man. And baseball is about adjustments. I was at a high school game yesterday, and it was so poorly coached that I had to leave because just simple things that you have to teach kids.
I'm out of here.
But by the time you're a senior in high school or a junior in high school, you've been playing for 10 years. There's simple things that you should know and simplify when you're either up or down runs. When you're protecting a lead, you play a certain way. When you're chasing 3, 4, 5 runs, you don't do stupid things. And, I'm watching more of that bleed into college ball, bleed into Major League Baseball. And it's the fundamentals. That's the coachable stuff, okay? Pitching and defense is coachable. Hitting is not. Hitting, these guys have to go up there. They have to have an approach. They have to be able to hit. You got a guy on second with no outs. You got to get him to third. You can't strike out. You have to have a productive at-bat. And we say it all the time. We're watching these guys overswing with 2 strikes instead of you just got to slap it to the second baseman, and that guy gets to third. Pass ball gets him in. I watched 3 runs score in the first inning, and not one hit left the infield for the opposing team. That's tough to chase down 3 runs after that. They almost did win the game. Final score was 8-7. But you look at early parts of games, and that's where you win and lose a lot of baseball games. And then the last 9 outs need to be managed correctly by your coaching staff. And I think that analytics is great. And analytics is the kind of stuff that, listen, I'm looking at more analytics. The one thing I do like, especially at lower levels, is barrel rate, putting balls in play. And so when they talk about, we used to say squaring it up. They now say barreling it up.
Yep.
It's the same thing. Same thing as hitting it on that 4 inches of the best part of the bat, the sweet spot, and just putting the damn thing in play, especially in a situation where, all right, I'll give you an example that they used to talk about on the Reds, because when Pete Rose was the manager, he used to talk about his favorite player was Don Mattingly. Don Mattingly led the league almost every year in RBIs or close to it because of one thing. Runner on third, less than 2 outs, I'm going to hit a ball on the ground to the shortstop or second. I will be unselfish here. I won't worry about my batting average, even though he always hit over 300. And I'm just going to get the run in because that's the game. It's like going down the ice and thinking, I don't have to score this trip down. Or going down in basketball and going like, you know what? I'm gonna try to do the most unbelievable slam dunk against 3 guys you've ever seen, and even if I miss, I don't care. That's kind of the attitude of swinging out of your butt with 2 strikes at any level. You're doing a disservice not just to yourself, because anybody watching that knows what a selfish son of a gun, but you're hurting your team as well. And there's a thought process. I mean, I truly believe almost all these sports is 95% mental. You know, I mean, I just think that more and more we're putting on a show for ourselves and not playing the game, not competing, you know, and we're too wound up in the numbers. The numbers only matter, especially when you win. You know, those numbers aren't going to matter when you lose and you're watching the playoffs on TV.
I like when I see teams like doing the obvious based on numbers. Right now, I'm watching this Seattle-Boston game. Devers strikes out in a big situation. There's 2 outs. Bregman's up next. Walk. Send him. Don't even waste. Just go. Why? Right. He's awesome. He's 2 for 2 today. He's raking this year.
We're not going to let him beat us.
Trevor Story can't find the ball. Casas is hitting
167.
This is like, I'm taking my chances with those guys. Yeah. If you want to call that analytics or just common sense, then so be it. But, like, I love the common sense stuff that I see guys like Mendoza, I think, does that for the Mets.
Oh, Carlos is fantastic.
I love my guy, Craig Counsell, for the Cubs.
By the way, Mendoza was a Yankee a few years ago. Remember that?
Yeah, he 2023. Exactly. In 2018, 2023.
That kind of common sense brain has been sucked out of the dugout and now is the field manager for the Mets.
But the Yankees are wild, man. You got the 2 best hitters in baseball right now.
Judges, and like 5 of the worst.
Exactly. Like, how is that not just seeping into these guys when they watch them at batting practice? Or do they not talk to each other? It's just, I feel like Goldschmidt and Judge at this point need to, like, take over as coach here and tell Volpe.
And hitting instructor.
Golden sombrero for Volpe yesterday.
That's a great point. Your teammates should shame you when you need to be shamed.
Yes.
You have to police each other.
Doesn't happen in the
That
Yankees
has been
locker
taken
room.
out of baseball and a lot of these other sports where if you think Michael Jordan wasn't going to single you out after a game, now he might not do it in front of the coach, or Magic Johnson or Larry Bird. You know, this is something, you know, I would tell anybody. I'm not trying to plug HBO, but the Celtics stuff has been amazing because each guy has almost like Robert Parrish. I didn't know Robert Parrish was such a deep thinker and had so many things going on when he was a player and you know had trouble even opening up to his teammates and now apologizes for it. Yeah. He's like, I'm sorry I didn't let you get next to me because I was a different person back then. So I think that you look at some of these guys today, they're afraid to not single you out. But my teammates would come up and man-to-man with me. We're 25 years old. We can have a man-to-man conversation of, dude, you got a guy on second and we're down a run.
I know. We're talking sports here,
We're talking sports. This is not anything deep. It's like, listen, in order to help this team, you have to do the job right there. And then, like you said, guy on third, and we could start walking the go-ahead run and stuff, which, again, it goes against the principles of pitching. Now, with the guy on third and Judge is up, I could walk him. Yeah. But he could also steal second and score the winning run on a base hit. So, you know, a lot of times doing the right thing leads to good results. And so I think a lot of these guys, and a lot of these guys don't practice the basics, bunting, hit and run. I mean, that used to be, the 13 years I was a pro, every batting practice I was a part of, when you got in your first round of batting practice, you led off, hit and run, lay down 2 bunts, 1 to each side. Now take 7 swings or 10 swings, whatever you're doing, whatever team you're playing for. And now I watch, and like I was able when I was home the other day, and watching MLB on TV, and I'm like, wow, the MLB TV does a great job. They show everybody's batting practice. So I'm able to now see a lot of these teams, how these individuals actually take BP. Some guys are trying to hit home runs on every swing. And then you get in the game and you wonder, why does that guy strike out so much? Because he's not working on anything. He's got one swing and one swing only. I watch Aaron Judge, first round. Everything's the other way. Everything's on the ground. He's hitting it hard on the ground. Then he elevates it, line drives. His third round, now he's elevating it to another level. This guy has a total thing set. And if you're a young player, you're not watching a star, how he prepares, you're an idiot. Shohei Ohtani doesn't take live BP outside. So you know what I would do? Hey, I'm not going to take BP today because I want to watch that guy. What is he doing in the cage underneath the stadium every day? Why? How does he tick? So those are some of the things that I think if you're a younger player listening right now, and I know a lot of them are playing games, you have to watch. If you're a sophomore, you should be watching a senior, how he does his stuff every day. If you're in college and you're a freshman, you should be watching the juniors and the seniors. Because if you want to be a D1 player as a junior and senior, you need to learn and evolve by the time you get. And it's every sport. Football, you should be watching guys prepare. Hockey, basketball. And if you're not, you're missing part of your future game. You're losing out. You're going to be the one that is exposed, and your weaknesses will be exposed, and then you'll be like, I don't know how to make the adjustments because you didn't watch guys that constantly made adjustments.
We lost another one last night. Bon voyage, Bryson Stott to the 300 club. We're down to 31 Major League players now in Major League Baseball hitting above 300. That has dropped from 34 since Tuesday, since last time we were on the air. Bryson Stott from the Philadelphia Phillies, second baseman, new to the club. Don't know how long he's going to hang. Is right. Christian Campbell, second baseman from the Boston Red Sox.
That guy's awesome.
Well, he's new at 300 right now.
Oh, he's at 300? Oh, he's gone down a lot.
Yeah, he dropped out, and then he dropped back in.
Well, here's the problem. Devers is hitting below 200. Story and Bregman are doing a really nice job, but he's got not a lot of protection at the bottom. When you're hitting behind Casas, they're going to attack you, and they're going to be nasty to you if you're the 300 guy. So if Casas starts hitting, that guy's going to get better pitches to hit. It's all one thing that kind of helps everybody. But listen, I think the Yankees are in big trouble because you started talking nonsense with the torpedo bats, and you got ahead of yourselves, and you're basically thinking it's not the bat, and the hitter and the pitchers they have egos as well. They're like, oh, okay, so you're squaring some balls up week one. Let's see what you do for the next 6 weeks. And the next 6 weeks, if you look at Jazz Chisholm and Volpe, they've torpedoed downhill. And it has nothing to do with the bat. It's that we're going to expose your weakness. Nick was talking about fastballs in over his hands or getting Volpe out right now. So unless Volpe makes an adjustment on hitting that pitch, you're going to see a lot of that action. Because it gets around a lot quicker than it did in my day. In my day, I needed a scout to do 2 weeks of scouting and advanced scouting. They then come back and tell us what the Cubs hitters are doing, what the Giant hitters are doing, what the Dodger hitters are doing. Right now, hell, I can watch that on my iPad during the half inning when I'm sitting on the bench. I can go back and be like, oh, geez, yesterday, the day before, this guy went like 0 for 12 with 8 strikeouts. How were those pitchers getting this dude out? I'm sitting in the bullpen. Now I face Volpe. And here's the thing Dallas Braden talked about, which is not easy for hitters. Even in high school, you're seeing a lot of specialists in the later innings of games. Yeah. You're going to face maybe 3-4 different pitchers in a game. You're constantly making adjustments, but you have to watch. You have to study. You have to be a student of the game and watch these guys. So, that these guys, I think, are more studious, sometimes to a detriment. But I think these guys study each other and their weaknesses, and I think it's much more difficult on today's players than it was in my day.
2 outs, top 9. Hopefully the Red Sox can hang on this one.
4-3.
We shall see how this game turns out. The Mets, hopefully they stay hot as they go to Washington, stay in their division. That series will start this weekend. The Yankees, as Dibs says, back at home against the Toronto Blue Jays. Got more division baseball coming up. Can't wait for that, man. Red Sox will go to Cleveland after this game this afternoon.
Get to see Vlad Guerrero in New York as they will take on the Blue Jays starting tomorrow. I mean, I think a lot of baseball right now, as you're getting into the first month of the season and around 30 games, I think you go to 50 games before you know the identity of your team. I think we already know that the Rockies are terrible. We know a lot of these other teams are very improved. The Braves are in disarray. get them now, because once they do get it together, they have a lot of talent.
Yep.
But I think right now, and listen, there's certain teams that I honestly like your Cubs the way they're built. That getting Kyle Tucker in the middle of the lineup, like having a Juan Soto in the middle of the lineup,
he's great.
Gets the guys around him better pitches.
We got 3 guys over 300 in that club of 31. Chicago Cubs.
Well, no, listen, that's your team. And you live and die with those guys. But I think at the end of the day, it's pretty simple stuff. Guys come into a game and they're like, you were talking about walking Bregman. If you don't know, if your pitching coach or the manager has to tell you to do that, you're not going to stay in the major leagues very long. I was taught in Babe Ruth, which means 13 to 15 years old, by my father, don't let the 3, 4, 5 guys beat you. That lasted throughout my career. Don't let the best people in the lineup beat you. I will take my chances with the leadoff guys, which is now, listen, Austin Wells is not hitting very well, but I wouldn't really love facing Austin Wells because he could hit home runs. That, to me, all right, I got to be a little bit more careful. I don't want to hang breaking balls right here. I'm going to make that guy beat me the other way. So for Austin Wells, if you want to get out of this funk that you're in, I don't like to say the word slump because I think the pitchers put you where you are. You need to start hitting the ball the other way. And if the hitting coach is going, well, hey, this is your strength. Okay, I was always taught when I was young, work on my weaknesses. Don't work on your strengths. You know what your strengths are. What are your weaknesses? What are they getting you out with right now? Oh, they're getting you away with fastballs away. Well, then my approach should be looking for fastballs away. And once I start hitting those, then they'll probably start throwing breaking balls down and into me. It's really simple stuff, and I have 50 years experience with it. But for some of these guys, I think they're listening to the analytics people who aren't playing. They're listening to the hitting coach, the pitching. They can only do so much for you. You have to actually go out and do it. You have to go out there and be like, and it's not easy. My God, if I'm facing, let's just say I'm facing, I don't know, Manaea, or even Barrios, who's got a great breaking ball. I know I'm probably not going to be able to hit that breaking ball. So in order to hit the breaking ball, I'm not going to miss his fastball. And I'm basically reiterating what 17-year veteran Eric Davis says to my kids all the time. What's the best way to hit a curveball? Don't miss the fastball. So if you're letting fastball number 1 go right down the middle and you're not even offering a swing at that, well, shame on you if you're that type of pitcher or hitter. That's going to get around the league. You know what? Ben Darnell lays off the first pitch all the time. So just jam one in there for strike 1. All right? I can teach this to my younger pitchers. If you can get strike 1 over 7 out of 10 times, you're going to get that guy out. If you could get 2 strikes in a row over, 9 out of 10 times at the major league level, you're going to strike that guy out. So think about those numbers. You could do analytics all day. I do it all day with my young players. I try to get them to focus on positive things and then go out there and execute that. Because at the end of the day, I can't play for you. If you're coaching, you can't play for them. But these guys are in such a good state right now where they allow you iPads on the bench. You have all kinds of video you can watch on your smartphone. You don't have to sit in a room and watch it on video like we did. Like Tony Gwynn. Tony Gwynn used to take a VCR on the road with him and put in the VCR tapes to watch Rob Dibble and the staff in Cincinnati in a hotel room. You don't have to do that anymore. So honestly, when I look at this, yes, I think right now the pitchers have the upper hand because they can expose your weaknesses a little bit more. I'm kind of sad that the hitting is as poor as it is. It's a bad product for the fans, and I think it should be better because Manfred has given you every bell and whistle to make you better players.
Would you eat the Astros' new fried chicken waffle sandwich?
100%.
Oh, God, this thing looks
I love chicken and waffles. I was introduced to it in California years ago.
California does chicken and waffles?
Absolutely.
South thing.
Some of the best chicken and waffles joints were out there that we would go to late night. And I'm talking about 90s. And to me, chicken or bacon, sausage, and waffles or pancakes with maple syrup on them is probably the best food combo I can eat.
So this chicken waffle sandwich in Houston has pepper jack cheese.
I don't like the pepper jack cheese.
You don't like the pepper jack cheese?
I would eat either Swiss or American.
Ooh, I like the pepper jack. Bacon onion jam. I love to see what that tastes like. Bacon onion jam.
I would actually try that.
And honey chipotle Chipotle aioli. The orange.
I don't even know what that is.
It's the orange stuff.
It's the orange stuff.
If you don't like pepper jack, I don't know if you should try that.
I would say put the other stuff on, or just give me the maple syrup.
I don't know about this one. What do you guys think about this? The Blue Jays have cotton candy fries this year. It's
no way.
Fries with cotton candy on top and some kind of blue drizzle.
It's too much sugar.
No. Yeah, thumbs down.
Yeah,
I mean, that ain't gonna go good with a beer.
But I think if I offered it to an 8-year-old, they'd gobble it up.
Yeah, I don't know what the retail value on this. I'm not paying more than $10 for this.
If you saw. So Coco went to Washington for the last 3 days, Washington, D.C., to do their whole history
awesome.
thing. Yeah,
I'm jealous.
So today they were at the Holocaust Museum. Yesterday they actually went to the Nats Baltimore game. That was their fun part of the trip. But they've gone to all these different museums, Smithsonian. They went to Congress today. But my wife got what they wanted, and it was nothing but sugar. Everything was a gummy bear, was a sour worm.
Hell yeah.
That's what kids eat today, especially the girls, the 14, 15-year-old girls.
It's the fifth new food group.
Oh, my goodness.
Nick, you're Yankees. This is totally Yankees. Tiramisu in a Yankees helmet.
That's totally Yankees.
I've seen it. It looks good, but it's just another example of them. They're trying to be a little bit more classy.
Pinkies out, crowd.
French fries.
I don't know.
Tiramisu and a baseball
That's
helmet.
an Italian dessert, though. You got a lot of Italians in the Bronx.
Could just do pudding, but we got to do tiramisu.
No,
Pinkies out, champagne glasses. Oh.
You're Italian. What other stuff do you have? Cannolis?
See, cannolis would be all right.
Lobster tails, schviadels, like the little pastry shells.
Yeah,
what is a schviadel?
It's like almond paste and all kinds of other
almond
stuff.
paste pastry. It looks like a clam
Jonna
shell,
makes all
but
that
it's
stuff. You
it's
get
pastry.
it at Christmas.
It's very good.
Ooh.
Yeah, she makes the pizzelles and
kinda
stuff
wanna
with
go
the
to-
little pine nuts.
To hell with your pizzelles. I'm going to Philly to get a s'mores quesadilla. Oh, yeah.
There you go. All right. Coach Mike Camposano. He is going to join us next with 4 of his boxers from the Yukon boxing team.
All right.
You got a national champion in there, some All-Americans, a runner-up. So can't wait to talk to these young men and why they picked boxing at the University of Connecticut.